So
Okay.
I was recently, going down the Warhammer 40K lore, what was it, rabbit hole?
Yeah. Is
Pipeline.
that the one
Oh
where
my
like the
God.
red stuff goes faster
Why?
because it's painted?
Yes. I
But-
think
Oh, we do that too.
favorite bit of lore.
orcs are vaguely like magic or
Yeah,
like
exactly.
psycho something psychers, and so anything that they believe just turns out to be true. So orc technology doesn't actually work for anyone else because it's not an orc using it.
Yeah.
But then there's a whole bunch of other like crazy things. Like I wanted to know what the Horus Heresy was, and oh boy, is that a rabbit hole. There's like 50 books that are written about it that take place in like separate not timelines, but like areas. So it's like different people going in different places, all happening at the same time.
Okay, I was just about to ask, like, on a level of like Back to the Future to like figuring out the Legend of Zelda timeline, what the level of complexity is here.
It's definitely somewhere in between, but definitely when I think there was a big map of it that I saw that got me interested. Like, that seems overly complex and exactly the type of setting that I want. The reason why I bring this up is there's a thing in Warhammer 40K that is called the Warp, where it's very similar to what is in Stars Without Number, this metadimensional space. The Warp is like a transposition of the physical plane.
It's also hell.
Oh, it is also
yeah, like
hell?
canonically, it's like they travel through hell to get through. Like
Yeah.
literally.
That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that.
And it's like it's full of what is called like emotional energy.
I would say so.
Yeah, and it's just a really interesting idea, and there's things that live in it.
That feels
and-
kind of Minecrafty. Like you cut into the hell dimension to get somewhere else faster.
That's basically
And other
it.
things
Yeah,
live
yeah.
in it.
Yeah, and if you're there's a specific field that you have like around your spaceship when you go through it, and if it ever goes down, then you're just infected with hell, and you come out like on the other side is like hell spawn. So it's pretty cool, and I just thought I'd bring it up.
So should we be worried?
No,
No,
that's
absolutely. I am
This is
going to
fine.
definitely look for things in the Warhammer 40K universe. I definitely like the eldritch horror of the things. If this has not become apparent.
What? No.
Sick, dude.
Anyway, welcome back to the 7th Star of the Right podcast. This is episode 61. Woo.
Fine.
Something I didn't mention last time because I always forget because I'm trying to find a good time to end an episode. You guys leveled up. I told you this, but I didn't tell the people
What?
back
We
home.
were gonna
Surprise first
feign
reaction.
shock and awe, Jeff.
Oh.
Come on. Do it again.
You guys leveled up.
Hooray! At
Whoa.
long last. What new powers will I unlock?
You
Yeah,
told me
why don't
that
you tell
after.
me right now?
None of them, Jeff. None of them.
Oh, that's right. I
All
mean,
of
because
them.
you chose yourself to be a partial true AI as opposed to a full true AI.
Yeah, I
because
think-
you're like a prototype.
Yeah, I think that was the direction we decided to go in back when I didn't know anything about this universe. So I was just agreeing with you. So really, I made the decision and I will own that. But
I
I
think
want
it
you
makes-
to know
I
it's
think it makes
entirely your
sense.
fault.
Oh, I see. That's why you don't have level 3 routines right now.
Son of a.
Anyway,
It's fine. It's fine. We'll just have to beat up a bunch of stuff and level up faster because it's the only way I'm going to find my space mom, you guys.
Yeah, we'll go back in the dungeon, fight the dragons and whelp that
We'll-
Jeff
we'll
wants us
hit
to go back and fight.
We'll hit all of the guys we stunned should be getting up by then. We'll just farm. That'll make for interesting radio.
farm for experience.
Just grind for an hour or two.
So before we hop into what happened last time, because I think that'll lead pretty well into the actual session itself, I do want to know a little bit about what you guys got. Some newfangled abilities. I think you went from level 5 to level 6. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That
is
is
right.
correct.
All right. Which way do we want to go? Philip, you gestured, so I'm choosing you. You're going first.
All right.
What does Micah have now?
Micah has a lot. Our time on Fistos has been very enlightening, and we've reached a breakthrough, you might say, at level 6 when we're allowed to get to 3rd level of skills. That's one of the things of how stuff works in Stars Without Number. So she now has 3rd level telekinesis, which does a lot of things.
It's only a little worrying, but it's fine.
So the amount that I can lift with telekinetic manipulation is doubled. So it's like almost a full ton now. I can also control up to 3 things at the same time.
Oh, so it's not just one shotgun floating across the cavern. It will now be 3 floating
Amazing.
across the cavern.
Yes.
Excellent.
So much.
So that also increases my armor class. And I get 2 techniques. One from going up to 3rd level, and then 2 with just some leftover points I had on level up. So I've got the impact sump technique, which is once per day. As a reaction, I can just negate any one instance of physical damage.
Okay.
Sick.
So never attack Micah ever again.
It's once per day
Which is
specifically.
Gonna
What's
be
your
hard
AC?
for you.
18.
Because
Okay.
as I understand it, you like attacking Micah.
That's like my job
It is your job
to be the attacked one.
to be the one
And
that
also,
is
it's not just for me. I think I can like stop other people from taking physical damage, which
which
is
is cool.
distinct from like lasers. It's like bullets, punches, falling, that kind of thing.
Huh. Okay. So grenade and like heavy artillery, not necessarily something that you could just negate.
Explosions are probably your call, but I'd guess not.
Okay. Fair enough.
The other nifty thing that I get is a tangible force construct, where essentially,
yes.
I can create a like physical construct out of my same telekinetic energy that fits within a 3 by 3 meter cube, and I can shape it however I want. I commit effort for the scene to do that once per turn, and it can just kind of look like anything.
And then bad guys go in the bad guy cube.
They might. Jeff
bad guys
didn't
go
get
in
back
the
to me
bad guy
about
cube.
how that kind of thing goes.
Well,
We can get there when we get there.
Using it in a combat sense, I'm going to try and give people some opportunities to.
Like a saving throw kind
Yeah,
of game. Yeah,
I think
that's very fair.
Reasonable.
But knowing how your dice roll, Jeff, bad guys
Oh,
go in the bad guy cube.
I just need to start lying about my dice rolling.
That's what the screen is for. I don't
That's
know how
true.
you haven't figured this out yet.
Well, all right. So, Mike, what's your HP at? I'm also afraid to ask.
So I also gained 12 HP.
Oh,
Nice.
So I have 53 maximum HP now.
wow. All right.
Must be nice.
I think that's more than Wilhelm had. Anyway,
That's
Yeah.
double what Alex has right now after leveling up. More than double.
Amazing.
let's go around the table. So,
Sure.
Kirsten, how about Nona?
Yeah. So Nona, since she leveled up right after this battle where she attempted to stab somebody and missed, I decided to take a point in stabbing to get that up. And it helped a lot.
Right. It goes from like a minus to.
Yeah, it's just a 0, which gives me a +4 to attack as opposed to a +0.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you can use your attack bonus as well.
That seems to be what the magical spreadsheet is telling me.
All right. Neat. I think
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's got all the rules for. I definitely have skill. It says stab, and so it auto calculated the attack bonus for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, so there was that, and then I just threw one in fix and one in notice because I wasn't really close to leveling anything else up, and those two seem useful to have, and the not dying and the seeing stuff.
Seems very reasonable. Did you purchase any peripheral routines?
No, I looked through all of them. They seem pretty neat, but I still only have 2 processing power. I don't really use routines all that often. I want to make sure I get better at that before buying even more of them.
Fair enough.
And always one of my 2 processing power has to be spent on keeping my shell going. Otherwise, it gets less good.
Yeah.
I've got notes.
You don't
Or
become
-5 to health. Strength and dex drop to 12. And right now they're currently at 14. So I
Right,
like
so
them being there.
You would have like. You would drop from like a +2 to a +1 or something for those, and then also lose some health. So
Yeah, something like that. So I really only have 1 processing power point.
All right. Yeah, we were talking, and you thought you got the some.
We don't need to.
No. There's just one. There's one core routine that's going to be fun for me to have to deal with, where you just get to ask a question, and then I have to answer it truthfully. And you don't know how you arrived to that question.
I don't know how else I'm
Or
going to
answer.
solve this locked
Finding-
room mystery that we're now going on, what, like a year of, maybe more? We still don't know what the hell happened there. And I suspect we might not for a while.
Maybe sometime soon. You'll never know.
Maybe.
Maybe sometime soon.
Maybe
You'll
sometime
never
soon.
know.
And also, you rolled really well for HP, didn't you? I remember you showed me the
yes.
roll.
Yes, there was a lot of 6s in there. So I think I went up 8 points.
Nice.
So now I'm at 30.
All right, Alex.
Cool. Yeah. Alex had put in all of his points into Biopsionics this go around. So he's now a level 3 Biopsion, which makes him one of the best in the galaxy, according to the books.
Yeah,
Cool.
you guys are starting to get on the edge of like almost not gods, but like
Well, no,
Yeah.
Jeff, say what it
People
is.
should-
We can,
people should
why
write
not?
ourselves. We could go with
no,
gods.
let's not be humble here.
it's great to be a god.
So,
Oh, no.
because he leveled up in that, the amount of effort he can have at any given time increases, so he can heal more. In addition, I picked up the psychic technique Tissue Integrity Field. So now, whenever he does heal someone, he can commit an additional effort for the day to heal all of the people of his choosing within 10 meters of the healed target. Yeah, that's where he is right now.
Nice.
All right, neat. Yeah, Claire also has some things, but I think I'm gonna wait
Reveal
on
those in plot later, like
Yeah.
you do with the other stuff.
because
Yeah,
it's fun when I reveal them in plot.
I think that's fine.
So, but yeah, she's stronger now, better, faster, stronger.
Cool.
So yeah, you guys are all level 6. I think things cap out at like level 10 or something like that. So you're already on the sort of second half of the spectrum and starting to become taking yourself away more and more from just normal mooks and
Yet we're
regular
still
people.
afraid of everything.
Yet you're still afraid of everything. And that's maybe why you made it so long.
We're now at the point where we need to stop worrying about our asses getting kicked and worry about kicking ass.
I wonder if we should start charging more.
Probably.
We charge a lot. Well, we
It all
actually
goes in
don't.
a pile.
We really do not.
We got, like,
People-
what?
People just come to you and like, do you want this amount of money to do this? And
You're
you're
like,
like,
yeah.
sure.
I don't know.
The gig economy, man.
I
don't-
mean,
I don't
we
know the value
drove
of money.
Argus across the galaxy for the equivalent of like $10. He paid for gas.
He's willing. He also fixed
He's
him up.
willing, but he's not
broke.
able.
He's like flat broke.
This is
I
our,
hope you understand this.
this is
Mm-hmm.
a charity case. This is how we go to bed feeling good about ourselves, despite the fact that we've killed so many Ursum already.
He also just kept popping up. Like we couldn't shake him.
We also reunited him with his girlfriend. Like we've gone above and beyond.
Oh, did we?
Or so I've
don't
heard.
know.
All I know,
One
we sent
must
her away
assume.
from the war zone, but I don't know where she ended up.
That was at least the plan.
Dead. Never send the NPCs off camera or they get killed.
That's how you kept Red alive, just
Oh.
by having him on camera the entire time.
We know.
He did his best.
He did it. He was
tried.
trying his darndest to die. So speaking of this this cavern, let's. Well, I
Speaking
guess
of a
it's not
cavern.
It's not a cavern. It's a very large room.
It's
You're thinking
very-
of
it-
cadaver.
Eh.
yeah. Not speaking of this whole dungeon that I made you guys go through.
This dead asshole.
Let's
over here.
talk about what happened last session, which
I'm
was a
not
longer
sure
one.
we really know. We did a lot of stuff. I could walk you
was-
through what we did.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. First of all, we had a discussion about the power armor that we retrieved after our previous battle that we ended the previous session with.
Uh-huh.
Nona put a note on it calling dibs for us, so no one else can have it. We're good there.
Nice.
Then we got in the elevator and we went to we could see outside and people were fighting and it seemed to be going okay. Roughly the battle outside.
The Fire Fangs were making progress, but they were taking some losses.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so then we get into this giant room where we're going to spend most of the rest of forever. And there was I don't even know exactly how to describe it, but a large clear casing around a dude in the middle of the room.
A cocoon,
And then
one
three-
might say.
Maybe.
Chrysalis, perhaps.
But and then 3 switches around the outside, and us all being video game nerds, we just decided to pull them all at the same time.
Which is exactly what
just
you
to
need to
see
do.
what would happen. Okay, cool. So we did do that right.
Yeah, if you guys had pressed one of them, it would have done like a click, click, click,
Fair enough.
and then nothing would have happened. So it's like you have to be pressed at like the same time.
That would have kind of ruined the flow that we were going.
Yeah, no. So anyway, the
Do a little
giant
puzzle before you
things
unlock the boss.
started opening. We fought some reinforcements. We killed a bunch of Ursum who were being mind controlled.
Like you do.
Apparently, yes. Also, them that are in the mafia, we kill them too.
You kill a lot of people and things.
Yeah.
You don't really discriminate.
They started.
They do. They
Fair
almost
enough.
always start.
Except that one. Well, they stole Claire. So that's,
It
I
depends on
don't
your
know
definition.
if we did what they were expecting us to do, but
But yeah, so anyway, we had a big fight that happened. We managed to kill the guy. He had some pretty cool, fun, legendary actions. Also, for those of you following along at home, the person in the cocoon is in fact Wilhelm Restikov, who is the person encouraging everybody to like level up, become better than people. So
that bastard.
you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a noble pursuit. He's failing horribly at it, and now he's dead. So there's that.
No, he's dead.
And yeah, so our current situation is that Nona is plugged into the computer behind him and is currently controlling all of the helmety guys.
Yes. So as the battle was raging, he woke up. He was very clearly attached to like this mechanical throne with a console next to it, and Nona plugged in herself. There was a contested skill check, just kind of
We had a
wrest
hacker battle.
control.
It was Leet.
And Nona literally took control of the mind-controlled people and took control of one of them in the room and started like instructing them to fire. There were a couple of other things that happened.
Yes. After that happened, there was a second round of people a person who came up in the elevator, and they appeared to be Aletta. And then I think we passed the damage threshold on Wilhelm, so he decided to kill himself.
After
There's-
saying something cryptic.
That's true. A little bit more than that. I think actually it was what my interpretation of it is. He was like, oh, there's evil stuff out there. And then he got taken over by the evil stuff and then shot himself in the head because I don't think he wanted to die. I think it was like a hacking type situation. That's
Could be.
just how I read it. But the things that we know is that he said, oh, there's bad stuff out there, even worse than what you're facing right now. And we're like, yeah, we know we still got to go find the devil in his obsidian palace for one. But then he shot himself in the head. And then the person who is not Aletta stopped looking like Aletta and started running towards us,
So we had
which
to
is
take her
where
out.
we're at.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
It's an obsidian mausoleum. I'm sorry.
No, really?
No, it is.
I'm gonna run the tapes
my
down.
I want to know. I want to go back and check.
There's one monolith.
Because that conveys a whole other thing. That says the devil's dead. I wanted to go find him.
Maybe I have it in multiple places. Maybe it is the palace. I thought I did put it. Oh, I just don't know how to spell mausoleum.
PAL mausoleum.
Mausoleum's hard to spell. It's got U's
agree.
and O's and more U's.
That's too many U's, Jeff. Okay.
So anyway, yeah, we were stopped in the like half second of whoever this person is sprinting across the open combat room.
Yes. The very large open combat room. Also, I just realized that there's 3 switches and 3 siblings, which is probably a total coincidence.
I may have said palace at the time, but in my notes it does say an obsidian mausoleum holding the devil itself inside.
Okay. So true fans who are out there who have that email address that Jeff hasn't said in a very long while.
Go back to
you
session
write in
44.
and tell us who's right. Tell us who's right, because
that's-
we're not going to check.
I'm gonna check after
Okay,
100%
Phelps
I am.
going to check.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna. Anywho, yeah, so that's where we are, and I have several things I want to do. But
Yes, I'm fully so yes. To describe the scene, everyone is fine. I even think the robots are fine. Did I even take out any of the robots?
You tried real hard.
I tried really
You
hard.
had one in a stranglehold, and then she just gave up. So I'm blaming Nautiletta here.
Oh,
because she was straight up murdering this robot, and then the fighting stops.
There was more important things. But yes, to describe what happened, Wilhelm started monologuing and abruptly killed himself. Once that happened, the woman who looked like Aletta, not Aletta, dropped this sort of facade. It was almost like something that washes away over her skin, and you see an older woman with short silver hair. Geometric pattern of pyramidal protrusions comes out of her skin. The way she glides as she moves gives you an impression that she's barely even touching the ground. And she, at one point, no longer, she has returned these, but had two slender pointed picks that came out of her wrists. That was the thing that she was attacking one of your robots with. I can't remember which one.
Rude.
But the scene as we have it right now, I am taking us out of combat. She has...
And I'll bring us right back.
Right back into
she
combat.
has withdrawn her weapons, is very clearly dropped like a fighting stance. But to Nona, your credit, she is running towards you and the body of Wilhelm Restikov. And she's saying, darling, no. That's basically it.
Cool.
What are you going to do?
I think I'm right at that same spot also.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
roughly
what it's
right
worth
there. Nona's gonna reach down and yank whatever cables still are connected to Wilhelm out of Wilhelm.
Okay, can you make a athletics? No, it's not athletics. It's D&D. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it is an exert check, a strength exert check, please.
Sure thing. Oh, wait, nope, those are the bad dice to it. That is a 8.
Yeah, you. It takes a couple of tugs, but you are able to wrench out, and as you pull it out, it's a lot. Like it was like a pick almost, like an ice pick that was long, and there were several of them just dotted around his back. It was very clearly like integrated into his being. But after a couple of tugs, you pull the wiring out, this thick cabling, and his body sort of slumps off of this throne.
And then I'm going to sort of level my knife at the person who is running at me and say, "And who are you now?"
And at this, she says, Carmen, I'm Carmen Restikov. May I see my husband, please?
My gun is trained on her too. Has she stopped running?
Yes, she has slowed down and has noticed the fact that you guys are in a threatening stance.
Yeah.
Fair, given the situation.
I would argue completely fair. You were trying to kill my robot.
You were trying to kill my husband.
He did a good job of it himself.
I don't think that. No, that's not right. He wouldn't do that. Can I see him, please?
I don't.
You want to explain why we should let you any closer? You're Restikov, yeah? You're one of these. I mean, you're with him. This is your husband who's been doing all this shit here.
Yeah. Yes. I.
What do you think the situation is right now?
You can arrest me. Do whatever you want. Can I see him, please?
I need an adult.
What are you going to do? No,
just see him.
You can see him from there. But what do you do? My God, woman! Like, what? I understand this is a very trying time. It's trying for us as well. Not for different reasons than you, obviously. But like, what's going on?
He wouldn't do this. It's not like him. He would never take his own life. He has too greater plans. Even if he's taken hostage, he would try and do something. Dying is not in our DNA. That's not what we're trying to do here. So that's not him. It's not. It can't be. It can't be.
Do you have multiple of these wire cocoon type things around?
No,
It doesn't seem like he could have gotten up
him,
and
but
left.
it's not him. That's him, but it's not. It's and she just.
All right, lady, just stop it. Fine. I'm going to keep my gun trained on her the entire time.
I'm going to back away a little bit, but I'm going to remain plugged into that console. And not only that, I'll let you do your thing, but then I want to do some computer stuff.
She, as soon as, are you guys allowing her to approach her husband?
Sure.
Yes.
He kind of fell off the throne. The throne is mine now.
Yeah, and she starts cradling him and is beside herself. She's babbling nonsense. This can't be you. What about us? What about your dreams? No, this can't be happening. And is just kind of entering a almost catatonic state, like wrapped him in her arms. So what do you guys want to do in the meantime? Very clearly, I think someone should. I think maybe someone should watch her and make sure she doesn't do anything.
That is what
Yeah.
Philip did say Micah was
I
doing
can-
already.
I can. I don't know if you need backup, but I can.
Alex is gonna kind of step away and see if there's service on the compad. Can we get a call out of here?
Yeah, you're no longer in the depths of. I was just gonna say Wilhelm, Wycliffe. Yeah, you're able to get a call out. You're able to
right.
get the network.
He's gonna try to connect to Aletta.
You're able to
Cool.
connect. Hey. So all of the fire fangs that have been captured, mind controlled, I don't know exactly. They stopped. They haven't done anything recently. The robots are still going on, but with like these crab things no longer working, it seems we're starting to turn. Are things good? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm calling because things are good. We've secured the location. We have a foothold at the very top of the tower. As long as you guys are doing all right, make your way up here. We have, well, I don't want to say hostage or prisoner, but person of interest, shall we say?
Okay, yeah, I'll get Volker and
Oh yeah, please.
and Quark and maybe a couple
Who?
of the fire. Sorry, you may not have met him. He was this Quark that at
Oh,
Novavaxis.
right. Yeah.
He needed some help earlier, but
Bitter.
I don't think he got any help from
Okay,
him.
no, great. Yeah,
Do we have to do everything around this place? Get somebody else to help him.
okay.
You met him on the flight over. I can try and see if where Pycleides and maybe Terry and Celine are.
Pycleides is okay?
I haven't heard from him. No, I don't know.
Oh no.
I look for Pycleides amongst my horde. I don't know if that's a thing I can do, but I'm going to try. Whatever. It's fine to say no if you want to.
I make an int fix check for me. When in doubt, make a check.
That sounds great. 10.
Unfortunately, you're able to gauge some physical aspects of the various people, for lack of a better word,
I think they're all people.
Corpses.
living beings
Very nice.
that you have control over at this moment in time.
Mhm.
You're able to gauge some things. It takes a lot of processing power to even like fully articulate the ins and outs of one particular one. They are all unique as far as you can tell. But you have no way of telling which one might be Pycleides. You look at some of the stronger one who do tend to be Ursum, but out of all of those Ursum, you can't tell.
Okay. I would also like to direct. Do I have any drones down in the mines?
Yes, you do.
I would like to direct them to capture Ernst and Emmanuel.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a thing they're capable of doing by themselves,
Well,
but
Ernst is currently passed out.
is he? It's been a bit.
It's only been he was near death twice. He's gonna sleep it off.
And then he tore his arm
Um,
off.
That's
But-
fine.
And he's tied to a chair.
You can attempt to do that. It's not just going to happen, I will say.
That's fine.
All right.
I'm just trying stuff.
Yeah. So you look down into the mines where you came from, and you do see a few of them seem to be sleeping for some reason. You can't quite control them at all. They can't like jolt them
For some
awake.
reason. Come now, Jeffrey.
You shocked a lot of them and broke their connection. They no longer seem to respond to you directly, beaming commands to them. There are a few that were around the loading docks that you are able to beam this information to, and they stop what they're doing and just start trudging up the steps to that overseer's office. You feel them like start to see that there's the broken color in the corner, as well as Ernst, not dead, but passed out on the floor, and they are able to tie him up, and they start taking him along. They will have trouble with the elevator because you broke it, but that starts to happen.
I don't necessarily need them to bring them here. I just don't want the two of them running around in the mines.
That's fair. The thing is,
unsupervised.
Emmanuel is still able-bodied.
Yep.
So do you want to do that?
I think I do.
Okay. I'm going to have to make some rolls. I don't know. How many did I even describe in that room? I'd have to look up in my notes.
Yeah, I didn't make a note of it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So this is what happens. Take one of these. We got the things that we were talking about before. When I want to
Amazing.
make a move, I'm taking it.
Cool.
It's going back into my bag.
Cool.
Anyway, you instruct them to start trying to take him in. How are you shaping this command?
Yeah, I think my instructions were simply to, I guess, capture if possible.
So
I don't actually expect any of them to be able to take him in one-on-one combat, so I don't think it's necessarily a what's the word? It's not necessarily a go quick fight him, right? It's more of a like see if you can grab him while you're there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of them starts to do something that is not a part of setting up these mines, and he directs them again. And when it doesn't stop doing what it was doing and continues on its way to try and capture him, he starts barking orders, and others start to try and overwhelm him. And then he is able to push free and runs out the area. You don't have visibility of him anymore, though.
Okay. Oh, one other thing I wanted to check. Can I see in my drone army the elephants, the space elephants, the screamers?
No.
Beautiful. Love that. Love that for us.
Why do you love that for us?
I mean, I think we want to discuss this in character in a moment.
That's fair. Yeah. So, Micah, Claire, and Alex, I guess I don't need to say Claire because I'm Claire. You all notice that Nona's not letting go of the console. And additionally, there is an Ursum that is being controlled in this very room with you, standing at attention.
Yeah. I think at this point also to get rid of all subtlety, I think I've sat down in the chair.
All right. Alex keeps talking to Aletta. So, yeah, rendezvous up here, top of the tower. And he'll hang up the phone. I'll be like, no, just heads up. The heading here, you're going to want to unplug yourself before we have our allies arrive.
I do have the wrist thing.
So it's not the question of, okay, yeah, I guess it preserves the kind of reds here, right?
Yes.
No, that's great, but I don't want you connected to the tower while we're trying to discuss everything else.
Yeah, you did what you had to do. You freed the folks they were controlling.
Yes, I believe I have also gotten them to capture one of the two remaining alive Restikov brothers.
Oh, I should text a letter about that.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I do believe Emmanuel is still
Perfect. I'll let you know.
missing in the mines.
Great. Okay.
Nona is very, very hesitant to take this off. She just keeps looking at it, looking at her drone army, and looking at it, and looking at her drone army.
Why should I give it up?
A little bit. I think there is a little bit of that. I mean, you're the one who described plugging in all of this stuff as being
Yeah. No, I'm fully aware.
neat.
So, yeah, okay. If that's that, are you gonna take that off? I'm not sure if you should be sitting in that chair either. That's like a little I know we hate him, but the guy's right there.
That's Kirsten laughing, not Nona. I'm just picturing,
I'm just
like straight up.
yeah. I'm just appreciating that I now have a new big bad.
Yeah.
No. Is it possible to turn off, the mind controlling things for all the people? Like let them go?
Yes. She does it and she unplugs herself from the thing.
Okay. The one Ursum that is still currently standing in this room kind of buckles at the knee and lets themselves down. They don't completely lose control, but they're exhausted and just lie themselves down.
That's good. We don't want any head injuries.
I'm just gonna
I don't want them just
sleep
to
right here.
collapse all of a sudden.
They've got protective headgear, but that's good.
They're aware of their surroundings to some extent, but they do seem to be blinded. Nona, you've completely cut off the connection to all of them all at once.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think that's generally the idea. There was some conveying of perhaps this isn't the best look and people are coming, and Nona is roughly still very cautious of Valetta.
Fair enough. So because this is all kind of instantaneous, is there anything else that you want to do before you relinquish this power? Any other things you want to look into, things you want to do?
Okay, so actually I think we've got a little bit of time. So I cut the thing, everybody falls, maybe I stand up out of the chair, I don't know. And I want to see if I can get in contact at all with now that I kind of own the tower, we're at the top of the tower. I don't know if this is actually plugged into this, so it's quite possible it is impossible. But I want to see if I can talk to the Fistostan Wastelands AI that contacted me earlier, and potentially in a way that's a bit more direct than let's all vibrate things and do text speak because of our character limit.
Mm-hmm. And so you look for various ways, but you also wash over the entire facility. Now you can see the entire facility. They
Ooh,
somehow
nice.
rerouted the internal wiring of Wycliffe to, be at the top rather than at the heart of this particular structure. Nona, as you reach out, it is deathly quiet. You reach out in any way that you can think possible, sending texts, like text scrolls along certain things in various parts of the building, moving various applications around, but that mastermind that was controlling all of these things before has fallen completely silent. You can't get a hold of them.
Cool.
Do you guys want to do anything else in the meantime?
I have no idea what to do with this individual person here. I guess I could go fix some of my robots. My heart's not in it though.
So if you guys do want to discuss things away from Red,
That's possible. I just feel like we're
there is. He will say, Mike, if you want to talk things over with your friends over there, I can take this one.
Jeff, can you take this one?
She is not.
Is she going to murder our boy?
No, she's not. I just want you guys to be able to talk your mind without
I
having
would
an NPC
love
around.
that so much. I've got like 3 sessions worth.
Yeah, I'm
things.
fully aware, so I want to give you guys the opportunity to talk.
Yeah, I'll tell him. All right. Yeah, just keep an eye on her. Let us know if she does anything weird. But we're gonna take a minute and talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can do that.
Point this under the gun. Yeah, cool. All right. Huddle up, team Phoenix Fam, for the win. Well, first things first. I think we should ask that woman why she looked like Elena. That seems interesting.
Nona, you'd be aware of the cybernetic implant that she has.
Sure, but that's very different from... I guess I'm still a little bit confused of like why Aletta running into the room and attacking was a plan.
Dramatic.
Could confuse us. It was dramatic.
Okay.
We were busy,
Fine,
but
I think it was dramatic.
Well, we
I
already
found it
know
very
that Aletta's
shocking.
the-
I was like, oh, great, it's Aletta. And then she started attacking us. And I was like, whoa.
isn't that crazy?
It sounds
I
crazy.
see.
if I'd been facing that direction, I think I
I would have been shocked.
I was unexpecting that. I'm very tired.
Oh, all right. So other things to update. I believe I have the location of the Fistasen Wastelands AI. They reached out to me and identified me as sister and requested that I go to them and
So-
gave me coordinates.
Oh,
Oh,
So you think this is another true AI? Like,
I suspect as much just based on our interactions. I am a little bit confused because I asked for their last name and they did not respond with what I would believe. If I were to say to you, hey, we are sisters, and then you said, great, what is your last name? Hopefully we would have the same last name.
Nona, do you have a last name?
Not officially, but I consider it to be the last name of my creator. Is that not how this normally works?
Oh,
with
no,
humans?
no, it doesn't. No, yeah, that's exactly how it normally works with humans. I've never.
Honestly, I would have accepted Reed or Calvin based on the
That's very fair. But
patriarchal.
did you remember her name when you woke up? Maybe they just don't remember stuff. You don't remember some stuff.
This is fair. I did meet her briefly.
when? Oh, it's Dr. Calvin.
yeah.
I thought you meant the person in the wastes.
No, we just had a very grueling text-based conversation in which we communicated solely by vibrating different things in Wycliffe. There was one thing like that started with a question mark that I just don't know how we pulled that off, but punctuation, we did it.
I was gonna say that I could relate to grueling text-based conversations, but like no, that one, you're way beyond me there.
So
Cool.
anyway, she has requested that I go meet her in the Fistasen Wastelands. She did request specifically that I come alone. And so I might need to borrow the Phoenix, but I do promise that I'll bring it back.
We have another fight. That might be better maneuverability.
And also, maybe we shouldn't let you go alone into the wasteland by yourself to some surprise entity who you have questions about. I don't like that.
That's fair
For
too.
what it's worth, I have gotten a lot better at stabbing. Just all of a sudden it occurred to me. The pointy end goes this way.
Specifically,
All right. Yeah, that's progress.
it's harder than you think. Yeah.
Even so, let's.
Oh,
I'm
and
totally up to chase this lead for you, but I don't like you going by yourself.
I also cannot discount the possibility that this sister in the Fistasen Wastelands might be the source of our second mind control controller.
second?
Second, my controller.
Yes. Well, when we were in, hold up, I got this. It's been a while. Where's
Novavoxus?
Novavoxus, thank you. When we were in Novavoxus and were being attacked by all of the animals from the Fistasen Wastelands, they had these small capsules inside of them, correct?
Right. Yeah.
And they can vary based on size. They can be very large or they can be tiny. And I do believe that, Jeff, would you say the capsules were in some things that were roughly the size of humans?
Yeah, and some were larger than humans.
I'm more so looking for
Or
smaller.
some smaller.
Oh.
Or some smaller than humans?
Yes, the worms are larger than humans.
Yes, that is
whelks
correct.
are smaller than humans.
So then why would you, when controlling humans, use the helmets. If you could just implant a little tiny pill and not have, you must admit it's not very aesthetically pleasing at the very least.
No, it makes a lot of sense. We haven't seen any more of those smokers since we left Nova Voxis, but we have seen plenty of the whelps. And the smokers come from deeper in the wastes than the nest that's here.
Also, while I was connected to the computer over there, and she briefly glances back at the throne longingly, I did try to look and see if the screamers that we encountered while in the mines were mind controlled or not, thinking potentially animals, humans, different levels of control there. Not sure. They are not. At the very least, they are not on this network. As far as I can determine, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, this connects only to those wearing helmets. Ergo, if there's other things out there that are being mind controlled, which we know they are.
Yeah, you couldn't feel anything out in the wilderness or anything like that.
I don't actually believe I tried. I think I specifically looked for the elephants. I could try again.
Maybe let's leave that at this assumption for
I
now.
will say, just so we can avoid that, when you cut the tie, you kind of need to go into each one
Individually
and
Okay.
kind of see them. It was a quick process,
but I was like, ding,
deleting
ding,
a bunch
ding.
of files all at once, but you are aware in your mind of all.
And I didn't X out of any.
all of them were in the vicinity of Wycliffe.
Well, there you have it.
Great.
God says no.
So
Just so you don't have
Just
to plug
I
back in.
appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly.
let's
Yeah.
keep that quiet in front of Aletta until we get a chance to check out the wastes. And then we can go from there.
Fair enough.
I feel like if we mention it and she's like, oh, well, maybe I'll send Red and Volko over. And I'm like, I like them both, but you know.
Red and Volker are even farther from my definition of alone than the rest of you. So there is that.
Oh, I see. No, that's very fair. There's no way you can contact the person out in the wastes again or anything. Let them know, hey, I'm being dropped off by my space parent friends.
I did attempt that.
Okay.
There is no response.
Okay.
I suspect that there was a brief window in which they were able to communicate with me, which just coincidentally happened to be when I plugged into.
Yeah, we have great luck.
Yeah, I love that.
Kind of
Yeah.
sketchy.
I love when the
Which
windows
is
just
good
open.
because their competence is not
Okay.
overly great.
Anything else? Anything
All
else
right.
we need to touch base on? Oh, payment for Aletta, this extra mission. Easy, extra 30,000. Because we got paid 50,000.
It's
100,000 total, right?
it was 10,000 for each person, so
100,000.
40,000 total.
Okay.
And then she was offering to
Base
Base
increase by 50.
increase by 50%, so 60,000,
Okay. We'll see.
which is
All right.
still a lot of money.
I don't know, Jeff. These spaceship fixes
Repairs?
are gonna come
Don't worry,
due
they're coming
any
up.
day now.
This was a dangerous mission. I think it was worth it.
The market's crazy right now for spaceships.
We also get to keep. I did write a note on it, but we also do get to
We keep the power armor.
Mhm.
We have a dibs. We have dibs on that. Though.
Finders,
That's,
keepers.
that's outside. That's outside of them.
It says property of Nona on it, and her handwriting is awful for some
right
reason.
next to a dead woman. Who's
Oh yeah, it's probably
strange
still
proportions.
blood soaked. Who knows?
A little arrow pointing down to the corner. This would be you if you take it.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. Hold up. Let me check my notes because I have a things to tell people. Okay. We've had the employees capture Ernst and attempt to capture Emmanuel. We have discussed the sister in the desert. We've discussed that the compliance helmets and mind control pills are two different levels of technology. Yeah, okay, that's roughly all I can do right now.
All right, cool.
Now it's only half a page
Helping you check off those
Oh,
things by just
so
removing
many to-do
NPCs
things.
from the room.
long.
And so as you guys are having this conversation, probably closer to, there was this terrace that I described before that had like a couple of shrubbery and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we should check out this room now that we're not all about to die.
You do. It's just a really nice balcony, very clearly meant as like almost like a garden in the clouds. a lot of very exotic and pretty flowers and plants and vegetation. And it also, it's kind of purposefully overflowing to be almost like a Garden of Eden. And you've got like these like Greek style benches, you know, with the columns and the swirly like concrete. Very serene.
Asshole sure was sitting pretty up here while all the workers were toiling to death down in the mine.
Yeah, well, what else is new?
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism.
Woo. So after a period of time, you hear the elevator go off. Red looks over.
Open fire.
I think at this point we're just kind of programmed to expect that to be a bad thing.
Yeah.
If it looks like a letter, it's not a letter.
Quick, shoot her!
Aletta comes out. Oh no!
The person we told to come here. How dare she?
So Aletta is joined with Dr. Lucius Leggett, Volker, Quark, as well as you know, a torque.
This is my new favorite joke. I love it so much.
Do you mean
You're so
A navy blue
bad.
torque with turquoise.
Turquoise?
Turquoise.
That's what they call it. That's their
Turquoise.
favorite color.
It's distinct legally from turquoise.
A turquoise flex wrapped around their waist is a heavy metal band. Protruding from this band from their back are 4 articulated arms with robotic hands at the end. The top of their head has also been replaced by some chrome metal along with their eyes that they can now extend and retract into their face. Or the
guy from Atlantis.
Like the guy from
Yeah,
Atlantis.
we discussed this last time, I think.
Yeah,
You have disturbed the dirt.
that's right. He's the mole person man.
Yes, he
is.
Anyway, she is also joined by a couple of fire fangs. You recognize none of them. None of them are any of the named fire fangs that you know. Pycleides is not among them. Terry is not among them. Celine's not among them.
Barry's not among them.
Barry's not among them.
Barry
Mari's
shouldn't
not
be among them. Barry's
And
not an
certainly
X-Fighter.
not Arcus.
Is Mari there?
No.
Amazing.
No, none of them. You don't recognize any of them.
Cool.
Aletta directs the few fire fangs to take Carmen into custody. She doesn't give up much of a fight, but does like a little bit of the kicking in and screaming as she gets pulled away. But she is in cuffs and taken down the elevator, leaving you with Aletta, Leggett, Volker, and Quark. Volker and Red embrace. They kind of do like they do like
dap.
the hand clasp.
Like
You go home and you wrap yourself in bubble wrap and you stay there until tomorrow, sir.
like Volker, you son of a bitch.
Exactly. And Red says, finally gonna get that retirement party.
Stop!
Was there ever any doubt?
And then he gets pushed off the balcony.
And
Violetta,
so,
who is also not Aletta now. Ha ha.
Aletta walks up to you guys and says, yeah, so turns out the fire fangs were a little useless in that.
Ooh, well, yeah, you didn't have to say that, but I'm
You-
glad
you
that you
could
opened
take-
negotiations with that.
You could take their money and give it to us.
Well, it's something to talk about. Pycleides, he didn't like how long you guys were taking. I said it was fine, but decided to waltz in and then immediately got ambushed. So,
I would like to see
Typical.
him find his way through those caves faster. We can reset it up if we want, and he goes through it.
when I find him, I will try and make sure that he can run that relay and see how fast he can do it, because I'd love to see it.
So he's
I'm just saying, we
Missing?
didn't even look at the alcove.
We're still triaging. It was a mess in the courtyards of Wycliffe. We're still triaging the who has been captured by the compliance head. We're removing the ones that are there. We noticed that a few minutes ago people started to come to. They still have the things on their head, so they're going to need some assistance in getting that off, and likely some a lot of bed rest. But we can't tell quite who is where. I haven't seen Pycleides, Terry, or Celine. I'm working with lower level commands now. They seem to be a little bit in disarray after the ambush when they tried to approach.
Well, that seems a bit unprofessional, in my opinion.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Who do you have in Novavoxus?
Back in Novavoxus, oh no.
No one.
Absolutely no
reported.
one.
Okay.
Cool.
I have some people that report directly to me.
We have Nova
And Vox.
Vaxi.
and Vaxis.
I have a sitter.
You have a city
Tella.
sitter? A city sitter?
No,
You
no,
have
no.
kids?
I have a sister. A
a sister.
a Tella.
Oh, I think we met her.
Is she new? Is that new, Atella?
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Got it.
It's a letter backwards. Anyway,
It's very nice. I'm glad we spent.
yeah,
time.
well,
Okay.
there are people back that I trust to run things.
So it's not going to be taken over by a.
No. We only have a small contingent out here to try and keep this
We left a lot
whole
of
invasion.
we left a lot of really poorly armed people back in the Novavoxus. I'm sure they'll
Fine,
be fine.
don't worry about it. I just don't want to create a bunch of NPCs.
No,
that you all
it's all
absolutely.
know.
No, we
good.
get it.
We're just,
Yeah. But we're sorting through the casualties, hoping to see Pycleides, Terry, or Celine soon to try and get a little bit of an understanding what's going on with them. When I'll just say when Stavros was the leader of the Firefangs, he kept a tight ship. Knew how to follow frickin' rules and commands. So yeah. Anyway. All right. How much is this all going to cost me?
I don't know, from out of nowhere pulls out one of those old accounting machines and just goes ching ching.
All right. Well, the agreed upon cost was, I think, 10,000 credits per person.
10,000 credits per person. I opened with an increasing that by 50%.
I mean, this is an entirely separate mission. I don't know if you saw the Blastomox, but it was only complicated by the mistakes of the Firefangs, which you despite being angry at them, did hire. They were your employees and they only, served to get in the way. All things told, this could be a separate fee, another 10,000 easy.
Another 10,000.
I would also like the power armor and that neat computer box over there.
That's outside of that. We have dibs. We have dibs on a couple things.
Oh, yes, that's right. I'm sorry. I have called dibs on that power armor that's at the bottom of this particular elevator shaft and also that neat computer box over there.
So I will admit that the Firefangs made this more difficult, but at the same time, at the very least, they were a very good distraction that made this a little bit easier than it would have been otherwise.
There is no way of knowing if they actually did make things easier for us, but they definitely made things harder for us because physically Firefang bodies came up from the elevator and fired upon us as we were trying to carry out the mission that you added on at the very end. So
Nona is very solemnly nodding.
You can see them right there.
75% increase.
75% increase. Give us an even 80%.
Roll for it.
18,000.
Yes!
What is that?
That will be a charisma talk check, probably. I don't know if there's a better one for that.
We're doing it. We're negotiating.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of us.
Wow.
Look at us go. It feels very Witcher to me.
9.
80%. Even 80. Sure.
Even 80.
Fine. 80%. 80%. That's another 8,000.
18,000 a person.
18,000 each. That's, you're making me do math on a weekend.
We can just write this down and do it
72,000.
later.
54. It's a what? Yes, 72.
Yeah. So 4,000 for the beginning. Sorry, 40,000 for the beginning.
We'll figure this out later. But 18,000 per person.
8 times 4. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 times.
Oh, there's 4 Claire.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
shit.
forgot Claire.
Indispensable member Claire, who, if anything, should be getting a bonus. And we're going by head count.
Body count, you mean?
Okay,
Both.
18,000 each. Deal.
Wonderful.
All right.
I shake your hand, but it is very sweaty and clammy, so you don't want to
Literally
touch me.
also just covered in blood.
Yes, I think a we can talk more about maybe specifics. I know she looks over her shoulder at Lucius, who's just kind of like looking around at what has been set up here. Says, I believe that you might be being hired by Lucius again at some point in the future. I think he mentioned trying to find this location in the wastes about a true AI. Now that we don't have any more pressing matters, I can, indulge him. But I think rest is perhaps for the best.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't
And
say no.
At this moment, when she mentions rest, you do see. So you started this during the night, and you do see like the peak of dawn starting to come over the horizon, and you just realize how exhausted you are. And so she goes on and says, I'll meet with you in the morning if you want. I'm sure we can set some like cots aside in the Firefangs camp, or we can get you back to your
Did we take our ship here?
your ship.
I don't think we took our ship here.
No.
We took the other ship that Volker drove for us. It was
Right.
a
Yeah,
small
Yeah, the Phoenix is still back in Novavoxus.
Jeff, just for my own curiosity, if you don't mind, can
Yeah.
I use the Find My Friend app on Arcus's phone? Does that work here?
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot you
curious.
installed that app on his phone.
I did, yes.
Yeah, you did,
I forgot
didn't
to
you?
do it the first time, and then I was worried he died. And then I had him download it. No one
Yeah.
ever really asked me questions about
Yeah.
these things. But anyway, yeah, okay. I pull out my compad or whatever and find my friend, Arcus.
You dial it up, and you're expecting to see him maybe somewhere in between Wycliffe and Novavoxus, likely far away from everything that's happening right now.
That is where Nona is expecting to see him, yes.
Yes, you don't see him there.
Okay.
His compad seems to be directly in the Firefang camp.
Yeah, I mean,
Friends, consultation, please.
if you can set aside a couple of cots for us, that'd be great. Just let us know where they are, and we'll maybe find our way to them or not. Thank you.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
What's going on, Nona? Yeah.
Arcus is located inside the Firefang camp.
Oh, that's not good.
I believe I might know where Pycletus is.
All right. Oh, wow. We should really hit the hay.
Tired, yeah.
Oh, wow. My back. That's not a joke. My back really hurts.
My body with these bullet wounds.
Alexa, great doing business with you. Lucius, we'll do something.
Yes.
Great.
Good work.
talk.
I'm going
Good
to
talk.
go down into the bowels and see what I can scrounge up. Yes.
Yeah. Go crazy. Hey, watch out. There's one of these Restikov jerks is still running around down there somewhere. So
yeah.
Oh.
Maybe take
careful.
protection. Perhaps.
I texted you about that, Aletta. I don't know if you got my text.
Oh yes. I will. I can get some Firefangs or perhaps Volker. You're still up. Care to join me? And Volker goes, yeah, I guess. Mike,
ages 50 years.
still date, sometime,
Amazing.
in the future, maybe, perhaps not tonight,
You guys are
but
doing this here?
in the future. I don't. I'm seeing her right now.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but yeah.
All right, cool.
Wink, finger gun,
You
yes.
realize that just increases the odds of Volker dying by like 20, 30%.
They can handle. Actually, I was going to say
least.
they can handle themselves. Don't they still have like an arm and a sling?
Yep. That's why we made them drive.
Yeah, they do still have an arm and sling. They're fine though.
They're their own
They have
person.
a gun.
As did Red. We just can't get him to use it, Mr. Stabby.
Okay, let's go find those beds.
Wait, did you say beds or bears?
Yes.
So, you guys, are you going directly to the camp? Who are you going with? People? I assume you.
Are other people going to the camp?
Yeah, Aletta would probably, or at the very least, like direct, because Red's also tired as well. Like, yeah, Quark and Aletta are coming with you guys and kind of direct you through. You take the elevator down and you start walking through, and it's a battlefield. There's large holes in the earth created by mortar strikes. You see Ursum left and right having been shot or stabbed by these colors. You see various like robotics just strewn about. And you do see some, both Ursum without these compliance headwear on, some with it on, dead, some moving around and stirring and getting triaged by various people around. But it's a battle zone. And you walk out the front doors seeing all of this. Again, no sign of Pycleides, Terry, or Celine. Or any other Ursum that you're familiar with.
Nona, completely unbothered by the carnage, is picking through the robot scraps looking for useful stuff. I don't actually need resources
no,
from this, but...
Can we keep a move? Can we?
Okay, fine. I actually kind of try and pull you aside and go, is this something we should tell Aletta about?
Is what something we should tell it about?
I hold up my phone.
No, I don't know. I don't know how involved she is in the whole drama.
Well, she didn't like the fighting before, but
Well, she might end up not liking what happens when we get back to camp. Then we'll see.
And so you guys make your way. By the time you reach the camp, the sun has fully risen. It's no longer just peeking over the horizon, but it is fully dawn now. And you take a look around the camp, and there's a lot less Ursum than there were a couple of hours prior when you met to have your debrief. You do see quite a lot of activity in the area that you were originally pointed to, one of these large hangars, people coming in and out on these stretchers. And you're now here. Aletta directs you to a space near the back of the camp that has some spare cots for you to rest in if you so desire. But what do you guys want to do immediately?
Does that app like zoom in some more? Can you see
up to
where-
Jeff.
You can get probably within 100 meters and then look around.
We are luckily built on top of existing phone technology.
Technology is amazing.
Yeah. You remember Google or
So
Space Google Maps?
I want to say you're trying to track down.
I think that's right. I think given that we do not wish to involve Aletta, we would probably do something along the lines of, yes, here are these beds that we will sleep in, and then
When
wait
she
for
leaves.
her to leave and then
Yeah.
just go find.
So you start trying to locate or triangulate this position a little bit more, and it takes you to one of these very large hangars, and you see people moving in and out, all Ursum, again, on these stretchers. And do you want to enter, or are you just trying to look around?
If there is an Ursum that isn't obviously injured or obviously like bustling around or isn't actively carrying a stretcher, Alex will like just quickly tap him on the shoulder and be like, sorry, we're looking for Mari or Pycleides. I think everybody's looking for Pycleides, but maybe Mari or anybody around there.
Myri's in the hangar over there. She's
Great.
really busy, though. I don't know if you can just...
I'm here to help her.
Okay. Right. Yeah. She's in the triage hall.
Great. No, I'm not gonna help her. Let's go.
And so you walk in, and the smell of burnt fur and flesh and blood is kind of in the air. This is a triage center. They're taking people and seeing like, how bad are your wounds? Can you wait on this? Are you like desperately in need? You walk through a couple of cots and you see a couple of Urson in various states, several of which have these compliance headwear on them. You pass through one cot as the blanket starts to be pulled over the head, and you get a glint of a white furred with black patches on the eyes, ears, and arm, and gaps in their armor where you can see like these Mars in their armor, and it appears that Terry has passed away in the fight. You keep moving forward, and you do see Mari with her side ponytail, the death ponytail, in the distance, and she is directing people there and back. It seems like she is in control of what is happening here. And lying down in front of her, you see an injured Celine. She seems to be missing a good chunk of her arm. And as you approach, you see Arcus come up and start patting the area of Celine's arm. And Barry, you also notice in the background, helping direct people, picking people up and putting them onto cots. No one seems to really care about their presence at all. They're really just all going to Mari, and she is kind of directing all of the traffic in this particular hangar.
Well, then,
Here they are.
it's different from what I expected.
Great.
Well, seems like he's okay after all.
Yeah, I'm good.
It-
Having confirmed that he's not dead, I no longer care.
You guys share the moment where he looks up and sees you guys and does like one of those coy little smiles and does like a side hug to Mari.
This guy.
A little thumbs up.
So you did get the flowers right, I'm guessing then.
I guess so.
Seems
Shot
seems
in the
like.
dark. Yeah. Well, all right. I guess he's fine. And Pycleides is not here. Maybe we should actually rest up.
This is probably
We need
correct.
some patching too.
I have to help. I have to help.
Yeah.
Fuck. And Alex like takes off the like oversuit of the combat suit that he has, and like puts it on a on a chair somewhere, and we'll go over to Mari.
Yeah. And so Micah, Nona, and Claire, are you guys?
Just gonna lean over and whisper, "Are we being paid for this?"
I'm going to say, well, shit, now he's going to make me feel guilty. I'll go help too with my lesser but still existing medical experience.
I can carry things.
I can clean things and wounds, I
No one
suppose.
let me near any humans. My heal is -1.
Stab. Does that feel better? So, yeah, I'm not going to make you guys roll. Mari effectively directs you in places. You guys are helpful. They need as many hands as they can get. Eventually, it does get to the point where they're at the very least have triaged the most. All the while, I know you guys are keeping your eyes out. Is Pycleides going to show up? Never shows up.
Cool.
And as you're working the triage hall, you overhear rumors of a specific platoon, the one that was joined Pycleides into the fight, just being missing. No one has seen them. There's no casualties from them. And none of them have returned back to base. They are just gone. There's been some conversations about seeing Pycleides on the battlefield. Some rumors that maybe he was attacked or that he was able to make it into the base itself. But it seems like there are various accounts that aren't necessarily lining up with one another.
Somebody saw him fly. That sort of level of thing.
Not necessarily, just a lot of like, I think I saw him do this, or I think I saw him at this time. And it's just, it was pandemonium.
Does anyone? Is there any accounts of like the any accounts of the whole platoon going down or anything like that, or is it just kind of like mysteriously vanished?
Not many. You try and get a sense as to what exactly happened. The most clear picture is they led the entire thing into battle. They were able to scale the wall, but they were the first ones over the wall. And so that's really all people got. After that, there's not a ton of information as to where that they may have gone or ended up, but they were the ones that led the Firefangs into battle, and they are just missing.
Can we ask people around when in the whole night that happened? Like when did the Firefang or when did Pycleides decide like, screw this, we're going in, and then they start scaling the wall?
I think it took you guys, if I have to look at my notes, I think it took you guys like 4 to 5 hours to fully get through the entire thing. Probably about 3 hours or 4 hours into that trek, Pycleides decided to pull the plug and just attack.
Okay.
So about an hour or two before you actually reached the core.
All right.
Well, kudos to him for leading from the front, I suppose.
So you guys have a moment then. It is quite it's in the morning now, but human bodies need human rest. Nona, what are you acting like you
Yes.
are sleeping?
I will go to the cot with everybody else and I will sit there with my eyes closed for the appropriate amount of time. But you know that thing sometimes you do at sleepovers where you're just kind of like there, but then as soon as like one other person stirs, you're like somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And like you bolt up. That is exactly how Nona is right now. She's like pretending to sleep, but as soon as we can plausible deniability no longer pretend to sleep, that's where we're at.
Awesome. So you all recover from a very long, very tiring night. Known as you kind of just twiddle your thumbs, staring up at the ceiling, doing various, like, I don't know. What was Nona do to pass the time when she's acting like she's asleep? Does she like play out scenes in her head? Does she do weird puzzles or something like that?
I think honestly, she probably spends most of her time going back over the things that she knows about what she is primarily attempting to accomplish.
Mhm.
I don't think she quite has imagination enough yet for, and this is known as a dazzling hero on a unicorn, although that will be coming someday.
Mhm.
Nona wants a unicorn. Look for it. But like the sort of idea like, okay, where was I? How have I gotten to this point? A clips show, if you will.
Yeah.
But also things that we know about Dr. Samantha Calvin.
Yeah, going over the facts and
that sort of thing.
figures.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Nona, as you're going through all of these scenes in your mind, you're going through like there's Dr. Samantha Calvin. We ran into Eddie. We have this information about Drict now, and so we have. Like, I'm starting to build a better picture about all of this, a lot more than a couple months back. Like as all of this information is going through your mind, get this itch in the back of your mind. Nothing alarming, but it definitely there's something there.
Mhm.
It feels strange, but somewhat familiar. Kind of like when Claire is trying to speak to you directly.
Mhm.
So you stop doing your little picture show in your mind and you try and focus on this feeling a little bit more. And as you do, it becomes stronger and stronger. No words come out, but you get these images, smells, sounds, touch. As you remain lying down, you find your mind is now straddling both where you are right now and your mind being somewhere else.
Which, for what it's worth, we're a little bit used to with split focus, but go on.
Yes. You find yourself in a dense forest, the most vegetation you have ever seen in your life. Birds chirping, insects happily buzzing to and fro. It's serene. Your senses are transported without your command as you walk a path through this veritable Garden of Eden. Out of the corner of your eye, you see movement. You've never seen these creatures before. Actually, you literally have on this I wrote this trying
Way
to be
long
mystic.
time ago.
But you see that it's a buck and a calf.
Cute.
And it's calf, not a calf. It's
Buck like actually like a deer.
like a deer. They're deer. A buck and its small child.
Bambi!
They appear to be lightly grazing on the vegetation all around you. Minutes pass peacefully until you hear the softest snap in the distance. The buck looks up from its grazing to identify the noise's source, and from between two trees, you see a smooth metal barrel. And holding that barrel is a young boy with an older man steadying his arm. A shot rings out and the buck collapses. Its calf bounds into the dark forest. The sounds, images, and smells no longer serene, but quiet, dark, visceral. As the young boy and the older man leave their firing position, you see Micah. Micah, you see Nona, almost a ghost floating between the tall trees that are starting to blot out the sun. Micah, you've been following this boy and man now for what seems to be hours, as they've been meticulously tracking their prey. Not a word has been said between them this entire time, but you know that hair, that slightly askewed nose, that slight tremble when firing a gun. It's Alex. You continue to watch the scene as it unfolds. The man leads the boy to the writhing buck. The bullet struck true, but wasn't enough to end the beast. Alex, your father, pulls out his hunting knife and presses it into your small hands. Without him saying a word this whole time, you know what he wants you to do. Nat went through the same ritual years back, and while your father never spoke much of the trip, you knew he was proud. Not today, though. There's an air of disappointment that comes from him when you look down at the quivering buck and back up to him. Hesitation. You kneel down and press the tip of the blade into the throat of the dying animal. You remove the knife, and a steady stream of blood pours from the wound. Your father crouches down next to you, a carved wooden bowl in hand, fills it with the deep red liquid, and hands you the bowl. You feel that disappointment once more after you take the bowl, before you take it to your lips. When you look up, you see a face that you won't meet for another 20-odd years. Your heart starts pounding in your chest. You see Claire, locking eyes with you. Nona and Micah flank her sides. Your breath starts to shorten as it gets harder to breathe. It's that look on their faces. Your throat continues to tighten. Where are you? You aren't in a forest. You see bars of iron and thick walls of concrete. Your heart pounds, and you're unable to clasp the bowl in your hand as every muscle in your body tightens and refuses to relax. And you look down at the buck. But it isn't a buck anymore, but the broken body of Kynon Maddie, fresh from a visit from Commander Forgrave, strapped to a table. You look at Claire, hoping to let her know that you didn't mean for this to happen. This isn't who you are. This is him. This is them. But the words don't come out. Claire just looks back, her breathing rapid, her muscles tightening, sadness and understanding in her eyes, but also something else. First, a flicker, then a blinding bright light that fills everyone's vision. Alex's, Nona's, Micah's, and through that blinding light, a familiar voice speaks out. Choices made by few will affect the lives of many. Before the reborn fledgling, with sparks on its wings, leaves a world of smoke and wastes behind, a choice will be made. An obsidian mausoleum reduced to shards. 100,000 voices crying out before falling forever silent. Or another path, obscured by the desires of a man and a woman untouched by time. One thing is certain. For each step the dreamer takes towards their deepest desire, the pale-faced rider is not far behind. And then you all wake up. And that is where we'll end today's episode.
Okay.
Oh, what a pleasant night! Oh, I sure slept good.
Holy moly.
Tree would have
I am going mad.
Is this what happens when you go mad?
Someone please check this. Actually, Nona is super excited about the fact that she had a dream. She's like, I did it, you guys. And then What do you mean everybody?
It was really weird.
What?
I saw you there, and